like many people, you jump at the chance to retire early with plenty of time and money to pursue the lifestyle of your dreams. While accumulating enough wealth by age 65 or 70 to last your lifetime is challenging, early retirement is an incredibly ambitious goal. This podcast will review the FIRE movement, which stands for Financial Independence Retire Early. You'll learn several strategies to become financially free and pursue your unique retirement dreams. Welcome back, everyone, and thanks for joining me. I'm Laura Adams, an author, financial spokesperson, speaker, founder of the Money Stack newsletter, and host of Money Girl with 43 million downloads. If you're not already subscribed to the show, that's the best way to make sure you never miss an episode. Now we have 2 weekly shows, one coming out on Wednesdays, and Financial Fridays is a Q&A format show. If you have a question, I would love to cover it on the show. Just call our voicemail line at 302-364-0308. You can also send me an email using my contact page at lauradadams.com. I'm sure most of you have heard of FIRE, or Financial Independence Retire Early. The movement began with an emphasis on being extremely frugal so that you could invest as much as possible and then retire as early as possible. But that's just one version of FIRE. The movement has actually expanded and kind of broadened into different strategies based on the type of financial freedom or lifestyle that you want in retirement. So I'm going to review several variations of FIRE that you might want to consider based on your financial situation and goals. So the first is traditional FIRE. So this, as I mentioned, means being frugal early in your career so that you can retire as soon as you have enough assets to cover your living expenses. For instance, you might save 30% of your income in your 30s and 40s and then retire comfortably by age 50. Another version is called lean FIRE. This strategy is for those willing to adopt an incredibly frugal or lean lifestyle now and in retirement. You save and invest aggressively to retire as early as possible. So you're eager to live on the bare minimum and then continue a minimalist existence in retirement. For instance, you might save 50% of your income in your 20s and 30s and retire by age 40 with a modest income. While you might not be able to enjoy a luxurious retirement, lean FIRE gets you there sooner. Then there's fat FIRE. Going fat means prioritizing saving and investing, but without significant financial sacrifices. You also want your comfortable lifestyle to continue in retirement. So fat FIRE means you need to save and invest more than with a lean approach. For instance, you might save 20% of your income in your 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s and retire by age 60. Working longer allows you to grow a larger nest egg that's going to throw off more income for life. Your retirement goal is to enjoy almost any expense, like luxury travel, shopping, and dining out. Then there's barista FIRE. This is a strategy where you save and invest enough to retire from your full-time and perhaps stressful job to do another type of work. Your assets may provide some income, but more is needed to retire fully. So instead of retiring, you use your financial independence to work part-time. Maybe you create a business or pursue a more fulfilling but less lucrative job. For instance, you might save 30% of your income in your 20s and 30s while you're working a high-paying job and then become a teacher, freelancer, or barista in your 40s. Replacing your day job with a more relaxing career may be your idea of retirement. And depending on when you plan to retire fully, you might continue saving 10% of your income. And lastly, there's Coast FIRE. This strategy requires you to save and invest fairly aggressively early in your career, but then scale back or stop. The idea is to make financial sacrifices when you're young and you can more easily live below your means. You accumulate assets that will grow for decades while you make small or no additional contributions. For instance, you might save 40% of your income in your 20s, 30% in your 30s, 5% in your 40s, 0 in your 50s, and coast into retirement by age 60. If you think early retirement sounds nice, but maybe you're getting a late start investing, or you couldn't come close to saving half your income, you are not alone. While the FIRE movement is not for everyone, I think it can help you see what's possible and help you forge your own financial path. Ideally, everyone should aim for early retirement. Then, if you have the inclination and health to continue working into your 60s, 70s, and beyond if you want, then you can build even more financial security. So I want to take you through 5 steps to make your preferred version of an early retirement possible. Step number 1 is to calculate your savings target. To know if and when you can retire, first calculate how much savings you'll need. It depends on factors including your retirement age, your planned spending, your earnings during retirement, your pre-retirement average investment return, your post-retirement average investment return, the estimated inflation rate, and taxes. So start by adding up your living expenses like housing, food, insurance, medical bills, and transportation. While some costs end in retirement, like saving and commuting for work, others like travel and healthcare may go up. You can't precisely know what you'll spend in the future, but you need to try to calculate a reasonable estimate. Remember that the earliest you can begin collecting Social Security retirement benefits is age 62. So until then, your savings, investments, and any pensions must generate all your income if you retire early. A good rule of thumb is to have a nest egg equal to 25 to 30 times your annual expenses. For instance, let's say you're spending $100,000 annually. You're going to likely need $2.5 million to provide that much income after you stop working. A typical retiree can safely withdraw 4% of their investments annually without running out of money. However, early retirees may need to withdraw much less, like 3%, to make their money last. So depending on how early you want to retire, having $3 million may be necessary. That would be 30 times your annual expenses in this example. Of course, whether you want a lean or fat lifestyle is a huge factor. Since retirement planning math can be complicated, I'd encourage you to work with a financial advisor. That is really the best way to create an early retirement savings plan. All right, the second step is to invest consistently. I know accumulating millions may seem daunting, but the trick is investing early and consistently for as long as possible. If you haven't started investing for retirement yet, I want to encourage you to begin just slowly and small. You should not wait for the, quote, right time to invest because it simply does not exist. No matter what's happening in the financial markets, your money can't grow if you're sitting on the sidelines. Every day of investment growth matters, especially when you want an extra large nest egg to retire early. You can set up an automatic investing schedule, such as daily or monthly, and some investing platforms can even automate your savings increases so they happen on specific dates. Also, invest more for retirement when you earn a raise or a bonus or get a cash gift. Early retirement is an aggressive goal that you've got to attack with gusto. It won't be easy, but it is certainly possible. Step number 3, minimize investment taxes. As you know, taxes take a big bite out of your income. To keep more money and protect future investment earnings, cut your taxes by using tax-advantaged accounts like workplace retirement plans, IRAs, and health savings accounts if you qualify for them. Your contributions are tax-deductible with a traditional account, such as a traditional 401k, traditional IRA, or a SEP IRA, or even an HSA. If you have access to a Roth, such as a Roth 401k or Roth IRA, you do pay tax up front on your contributions, but you get tax-free withdrawals in retirement. Having tax-free accounts to withdraw from in early retirement leaves you with more money to spend. All right, the fourth step is to know the retirement withdrawal rules. The only downside of using tax-advantaged accounts is that tapping them before age 59 and a half typically comes with a 10% early withdrawal penalty. Now, the good news is that there are legitimate ways to avoid that penalty if you retire early. So the first option would be to use a Roth account. That allows you to withdraw your contributions tax and penalty free. So they're an excellent option for early retirees. However, your investment gains in a Roth would still be subject to income tax plus the 10% penalty if you're younger than age 59 and a half. Another option applies if you have a workplace retirement plan and you decide to retire at age 55 or later. If you're no longer employed, you can use the Rule of 55 to take penalty-free withdrawals from your 401k or 403b. And for specific government workers, this type of exception can apply as early as age 50. However, note that this rule does not apply to IRAs. Only workplace plans and solo 401ks allow a penalty-free withdrawal if you reach a certain age. And number 5, our last step or tip is to use a 72T payment plan. So this is a little-known rule for avoiding the early withdrawal penalty regardless of your age. It's called a 72T distribution or a 72T payment plan. It allows you to distribute equal monthly or even annual distributions from your retirement account if you're retired. And the amount you can withdraw using a 72T plan gets calculated using factors like your account balance, age, and life expectancy. The payment calculation can be based on the amount in a single retirement account or the aggregate of all your accounts. Now, the problem is that a 72T has restrictions and some negative consequences if you don't use it correctly. So it's important to understand that once you begin taking 72T distributions, you cannot stop taking them for at least 5 years or until you turn 59 and a half, whichever is longer. In other words, if you start a 72T at age 50, you'd have to continue payments for 9.5 years until you reach age 59 and a half. After you complete a series of 5-year distributions or reach age 59 and a half, you can take retirement distributions any way you like. So when properly executed, 72T payments can be a smart way to tap your retirement funds early without penalty. However, figuring out the allowable payment schedule can be a bit complex, so you want to get help from a qualified tax professional to avoid any potential taxes and penalties. Whether you join the FIRE movement or not, the sooner you start investing, the earlier you can retire and pursue the lifestyle of your dreams. Thank you so much for being with me today. That's all for now. I'll talk to you soon. Until then, here's to living a richer life. Money Girl is a quick and dirty tips podcast. It's audio engineered by Steve Rickyberg. Our director of podcast is Brandon Gachus. Our digital operations specialist is Holly Hutchins. Our advertising operations specialist is Morgan Christensen. Our marketing and publicity associate is Davina Tomlin. And our marketing assistant is Cameron Lacey.